Hi guys, FrostFangs here, back again with another Paladins video on the Dawnforge update. Going to be walking through and showing off the new map, no new champion this time around, but yeah, finally after like 3 years or so we've got a new map titled after the update, Dawnforge. As I'm walking around and showing you it, I'll go through some of the balance changes and then I'll have another video later on or tomorrow with the skins and stuff. So yeah, I'll add a bot and we'll just jump in. The PTS is up, it's come up right when I'm going this video, like 4 in the morning. Let's go for a mobile character. First off, when it comes to the items, kill to heal will now ignore anti-heal. They're also buffing rejuvenate, the percentage from 24 to 30 at max, and the price has also gone up to 250 a level, then 500, 750. The lethality, the item that barely ever gets any use, which gives you movement speed, will also now give you jump height, and the duration has gone up. Let's just go for worm jets, and then the setup here is a look at the spawn room. It feels kind of crazy that I'm even here covering a map. I did buff the movement speed in the custom mode just so I can walk around a little bit faster. It has been so long since we've had a map, so I didn't really know exactly how to cover this. I didn't want to just do it in like, you know, standard PTS coverage or when I'm talking about other characters or skins or something. I wanted to really give it sort of its own video. Enemy Fernando there capping the point, but if you jump off the back, you will just get put back into the spawn room. And one thing you might have noticed there is that there's actually a noticeable border. Here's a little look around the spawn. You can also go on the top of the stairs. Yeah, they're pretty much identical on both sides. It's just flipped, which I hope they but maybe change in the future because it's kind of hard to tell where you are. There's a little bottom bit here. There's a booster pad which will throw you back up to this little bit here. And there's a bit on this which I wasn't sure if you're able to sit on. Apparently not. So that's just a hard invisible wall, which is a bit of a shame to see because that would have been possibly an interesting spot. Some other stuff over here, just a few more angles. And there's a little look again at the invisible wall that does pop up. I don't know why it's there and not there because that feels a bit weird. Just ignore the fact that I nearly died there to bot Nando, but here's another little look. The wall is quite far out on this side. I don't even know where it is over there and I'm playing Drogos. This little room on the right is kind of cool. This is just a little pathway round. It's a bit of a confusing map. I'm sure after it's been out for a little while everybody will be used to it, but there is a very different structure, I feel like, from what we usually get, at least have had in the past. But there's also this whole mechanism in the middle which I'll need to explain. There's another one over here which is similar to stuff in other games. You've probably seen it before. It's sort of a kill zone. If you go under it, you will just die. And there's a defense field because obviously the Fernando bot's just going to push it. I don't know if I can do custom games without the Fernando bot, but that's fine. Again, just showing off the map here. I'll go through some more of the changes. We've got Betty going up in direct damage from her bombs from 650 to 750. Corvus, one of his cards, is getting buffed a bit. Shadow Tribunal. Fernando is getting the cooldown of his Fireball taken down from 7 to 6 if we go for the talent, and also the damage going up in the bonus from 30 to 35. Mostly small stuff that I wouldn't usually talk about, but it does kind of fit in this video. Hermione's Frostbolt is going up to 420, only 10 damage difference there, and will also, if you go for Pyromania, give you extra mana if you hit people with the Fireball. I'm going to cap the point this time just so that I can actually give myself time to walk around, but this does give you a look at the flow of sort of how it would be. It's going to go ahead and punch the Nando bot. There we go, but this is the middle area. There's a lot of ways you can take damage here, and that ball, if you go step on the little activator over there, will drop down on the point and deal tick damage based on max health, and we'll also pull up walls or sort of walls on the top little areas. So if we step on it, it will go ahead and fly over here, and it will deal damage to you even as it's moving. These little walls will come down, which I don't think you can sit on, but they don't seem to have collision until they settle, and they are a little bit further out of the little doorway, so you can sort of wiggle through as I'm trying to show you here. There's also a booster in the middle, which if we step on, just sends us forward. I thought it would somehow send me really, really high. There's a little, yeah, just combat area here, teleporter, which takes you up a floor. Okay, for the characters, I guess, that don't have enough movement, or if you don't want to walk around this bit kind of carefully and go up because you can stand on top of this. Honestly, it's kind of hard for me to properly explain, but it feels just very different from other stuff we've got. Obviously, the visual design sort of fits in Paladins quite well, but it reminds me so much of like Unreal Tournament or something along those lines. There's other games as well that I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but I like the map overall. I think it might be a little bit weird to get used to, but I think it does fit in. Can you blast through this bit? No, there definitely should be a few tweaks to stuff because not being able to fire through there is a little bit rough, and I'm sure a few other things that I'm not going to pick up on in this video. Another thing to note though, we did get decimals on the last second of the cooldown for abilities, so definitely feels to me like a map that will be really, really fun for characters who are super mobile, Maeve, Drogos, etc. But a few of the other characters that are really stationary, like a Fernando, I think I might have a hard time. As for some of the other changes, Inara is getting Earthen Guard, bonus healing down to 30% from 40, but if you grab the Talent Mother's Grace, it'll go up by 20, so technically this is overall probably better for Inara, unless you're not going for the standard sort of thing. Can also run left here. To the point, there's just so many little pathways and stuff, which is a reason why It feels a little bit different from Paladins. There really is just so many little pathways to the point. I don't know why the Nando bot now is all of a sudden deciding to be rubbish, but just go ahead and punch him and then cap the point. Kazumi is also getting nerfed in this update, as I'm sure you would have guessed. Her damage reduction is going up in her F, which I was surprised to see because it already felt really strong from 55 to 75. But her Yokai doll, aka her basic attack, is getting a massively reduced cone from 6 to 2 degrees, and the bonus damage per stack is going from 25 to 20. Kind of hard to put into words, that's why I'm trying to just show it off with the Drogos, but there is a lot of freedom in the top half of the map, whereas the bottom half is really, really restricted. Like, you can sort of see here the way it works. If you're a flying character, you can get really, really far behind enemy lines, and a lot of flankers have movement like that. And then these sort of areas are very dually, if that's really a word. I think the stuff like this is also really reminding me of like Quake and Unreal Tournament and stuff on the walls, but yeah, I don't know, I like it. You can fly over stuff that you don't really think you'd be able to fly over. Like, I thought there would be invisible walls here, but there isn't. There's a few, obviously, obstacles that are going to be a bit buggy. You really can just fly over most stuff. That's sort of indoor. You don't have crazy, like, lines of sight in the air. It's still pretty segmented, but the map is exactly, though, what I'm showing you here. I doubt it will change very much from how it is at the moment and live. I like the aesthetic. It does feel very different. That's a good thing. I just really, really hope we get more maps, because that is the one thing that I think will make a really big difference in Paladins not feeling as stale. Aside from that, a few more changes. Kness is getting the restore card. It's completely changed pretty much. The cooldown is being taken off, but then the healing has been made to a flat 25% and it goes up 6% a level. Lilith is also getting her swarm changed, so the duration on it is going up by like 2 seconds, 2.25, and the cooldown is actually going up as well by 1.5 to make it, I guess, less spammy and easy to sort of just reposition and use the way you use it at the moment in live. Maldambo is getting a small buff to Spirits Chosen to 350. Pip is getting a small buff to Catalyst up to 35%, and Ray is also getting changes, which sort of surprised me because I feel like she was already performing quite well. But the travel speed in the chain heal is going up from 180 to 270, which I imagine will make it feel crazy quick because that's a huge increase. A few of Ray's cards are being changed as well. Ceres is getting her right-click ammo gen card sort of reverted. It got nerfed pretty heavily. I still used it even though it wasn't as good. I just had to run it at a higher level, but now it's being pretty much doubled in effectiveness from 1 ammo to 2 ammo. Makes it a really strong card that I recommend people run, even though I never see it. Tyra's like pre-fire on her ultimate from when you pop it is getting halved from 0.8 to 0.4, which is great because it felt a little bit too long. And Ying is also getting her Shatter's cooldown reduced from 4 to 3. I felt like Ying was already doing really well. They patched this up, I think, a little while ago, and now they're bringing it, yeah, right back down, just like they did with the Ceres change, I guess. And yeah, that's actually it for the balance section. Like I said, it's definitely smaller than what I think we tend to get. I'll do a little walkthrough now as we finish off the video and push the point. If I don't die to this Fernando, there are steps here on this a little bit, but there's a little random podium there, which I guess also blocks off the line of sight a bit. I do feel like the map is quite well designed, at least from testing it right now. Finding it really hard to put into words, but the push feels like it'll be kind of tough compared to some of the other maps because you're going to be hit from a lot of different angles, although obviously you can also push in from a ton of different spots. It isn't as confusing even from now just be messing around in a custom compared to when I saw it on the live stream show. So if you do hop on the BTS, give it a shot, and of course I really would love to hear from you guys on it, what your thoughts are and what you'd sort of change about it, what you like, what you dislike. I don't think I've done a particularly good job, but honestly I think I've forgotten how to cover maps with how long it's been since the last one. I'm actually nearly dying here to this goddamn Fernando bot who's actually juking me better than, again, most players I feel like I play against sometimes, although he is going to ignore the objective, so at least he's partially accurate. There is the victory screen, which I didn't see on the live show. That's kind of cool. I feel like they'll put a lot of work into this map, but at least for me, I sort of feel like I would have rather had 2 maps in the time that this one took to sort of be done, because yeah, I just really bought Paladins maps and we finally got one. I hope we get more. I feel like I've said that a lot in this video, but genuinely I'm really excited for this update. The balance stuff is smaller, the map is a really big deal again, like I said, and I'll cover the skins in the next video. But thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Of course, let me know what you want to see me next. I'll see you guys all really soon, and as always, stay frosty.